Are you doing better or worse than the average person your age when it comes to money? Most people have no idea. They're just hoping things work out. But here's what separates people who stay stuck from people who quietly build wealth. It's not luck, it's not a high salary, and it's definitely not some secret investment strategy. It's a handful of unglamorous daily behaviors that compound over years into completely different financial realities. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what those daily actions are, why most people avoid them, and how to start using them today even if you're starting from zero. My name is Ivan, and I help people understand the psychology and mechanics behind building real wealth. If you're tired of wondering why your bank account never seems to grow despite making decent money, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that like button if this video helps you figure out where you have been going wrong. Think about it like grades in school. Two students can attend the same classes, but one graduates with honors while the other barely passes. The difference isn't intelligence, it's what they do every single day when no one's watching. Study consistently or cram the night before. Take notes or zone out. Same opportunity, wildly different outcomes. Money works the same way. Let's break down the daily behaviors that separate people who escape poverty from people who stay trapped. Number one, they treat every dollar like it has a specific job. Here's the difference between Poor Peter and Rich Richard when payday arrives. Poor Peter's money just kind of disappears. Rent happens, groceries happen, a subscription he forgot about happens. By the end of the month, he's confused about where it all went. Rich Richard gets the same paycheck, but before it even hits his account, every dollar has an assignment. 20% goes straight to investments, 10% goes to his emergency fund, 5% goes to learning, books, courses, skills that increase his earning power. The rest gets divided between necessities and intentional enjoyment. Not deprivation, intention. The psychology here is critical. When your money has specific jobs, you stop making random emotional purchases. You've built a system that protects you from yourself. You can't impulse buy something you don't need because that money is already deployed elsewhere working for you. The consequence of ignoring this, you'll wonder why you never get ahead despite decent income. You'll be that person saying, I make $40,000 a year, where does it all go? The action. Right now, before your next paycheck, write down the job for every dollar. 50% necessities, 20% investments, 10% emergency fund, 10% skill building, 10% guilt-free spending. Adjust based on your situation, but give every dollar a job. That shift from passive spending to active assignment is how people break out of poverty. Money without a job finds trouble. Money with a job builds wealth. Number two, they live on less than they earn, always. This sounds obvious, but most people fail here spectacularly. They get a raise and immediately upgrade their lifestyle. New car, bigger apartment, fancier restaurants. Their expenses rise exactly as fast as their income rises, and they stay broke at every income level. Poor Peter makes $30,000 and spends $30,000. Then he makes $50,000 and spends $50,000. Then $70,000, and somehow he's still stressed about money because he spends $70,000. Rich Richard operates differently. When his income increases, his lifestyle stays flat or grows much slower. He makes $30,000 and spends $24,000. He makes $50,000 and still spends $28,000. The gap between what he earns and what he spends becomes his wealth building engine. That gap gets invested. That gap compounds. That gap eventually buys his freedom. The psychology, discipline isn't punishment. It's a commitment to your future self. Every dollar you don't spend becomes a worker acting on your behalf while you sleep. The consequence of ignoring this, you'll earn more and more over your career, but never feel less stressed. You'll retire late or not at all because you spent every raise. The action, pick one lifestyle upgrade you've been considering. Calculate what it costs annually. Now calculate what that same money becomes if invested for 20 years at 7% returns. If the answer makes you uncomfortable, you just learned something important about your priorities. You don't have to say no to everything, but you do need to understand the trade. Number three, they protect their time like it's more valuable than money. Poor Peter spends 2 hours scrolling social media every night. He binge watches shows he doesn't even enjoy. He gossips. He gets sucked into endless loops of content that leaves him feeling empty. Rich Richard operates on a different equation. He knows time is the only resource he can never earn more of, so he treats it accordingly. Every evening, he spends 30 minutes learning something that could increase his income. A tutorial, a book about money, a video about a skill he wants to develop. He cuts gossip at the root. He limits social media to 10 minutes a day. He asks himself constantly, Is this moving me forward or holding me back? The psychology here, your environment has more power than willpower. If you're surrounded by people and content that drain your energy, you'll stay stuck no matter how hard you try. The consequence of ignoring this, you'll look back in 5 years and realize you wasted thousands of hours consuming garbage while people who started at the same place as you moved ahead. The action, this week, track where your time actually goes. Write it down. Be honest. Then identify 1 hour per day you're currently wasting and redirect it toward learning or building. 1 hour a day is 365 hours per year. That's enough to master a new skill, start a side business, or completely change your financial trajectory. People who escape poverty understand this math. People who stay poor ignore it. Number 4, they measure everything. You cannot improve what you don't measure. Poor Peter has a vague sense that he's not doing well, but he has no actual numbers. He doesn't know his net worth. He doesn't know his real monthly expenses. He doesn't track his progress on anything. He just hopes things work out. Rich Richard knows his numbers cold. He tracks his income. He tracks his expenses down to the category. He knows his net worth to the dollar and updates it monthly. He measures how many hours he spent learning new skills. He counts how many networking connections he made. He reviews this data and adjusts. The psychology. What gets measured gets managed. When you see your net worth increase by $2,000 in a month because you stayed disciplined, that positive feedback loop reinforces the behavior. When you see it drop because you got sloppy, that negative feedback corrects you. The consequence of ignoring this, you'll drift. You'll have no idea if you're actually making progress or just spinning your wheels. You'll wake up at 40 with no retirement savings and wonder what happened. The action. This weekend, calculate your real net worth. Assets minus debts, write it down. Then set up a simple spreadsheet to track monthly income, expenses, savings rate, and net worth. Update it every month. That simple act of measuring creates accountability to yourself, and accountability drives results. Number 5, they automate their good habits before willpower gets involved. Here's the mistake most people make. They rely on discipline and motivation to do the right thing with money. That works for about 2 weeks. Then life gets busy or stressful, and the good habits disappear. Poor Peter tells himself he'll invest whatever's left at the end of the month. Spoiler, there's never anything left. Rich Richard doesn't trust his future self to do the right thing, so he automates it. The moment his paycheck hits his account, 20% automatically transfers to investments, 10% automatically goes to savings. His credit card automatically pays in full. He removes his own ability to make bad decisions. The psychology. Automation eliminates decision fatigue. You make the smart choice once when you set up the system, and then it runs forever without requiring willpower. The consequence of ignoring this, you'll have good intentions that never turn into results. You'll tell yourself you'll start investing next month, and next month never comes. The action, right now, set up one automated transfer. Even if it's just $20 per paycheck into a savings account you don't touch, make it automatic. That small automation will do more for your wealth than 1,000 motivational videos because it actually executes while motivation just talks. Number 6, they change their environment before trying to change themselves. Poor Peter is surrounded by people who complain about money, blame the system, and spend every dollar on instant gratification. He tries to save, but everyone around him is buying new phones and taking expensive trips and making fun of him for being cheap. Eventually, he gives up and joins them. Rich Richard understands something crucial. Willpower loses to environment every single time. So instead of trying harder in a toxic environment, he changes the environment. He joins online communities where people talk about investing and building wealth. He finds one person in real life who's serious about financial progress and spends more time with them. He unfollows accounts that make him feel like he needs to buy things and follows accounts that teach useful skills. The psychology. Your peer group sets your baseline for normal. If everyone around you lives paycheck to paycheck, that becomes your standard. If everyone around you invests 20% of their income, that becomes your standard. The consequence of ignoring this, you'll constantly fight upstream against social pressure and eventually lose. The action. This week, audit your social environment. Unfollow 5 accounts that make you feel inadequate or encourage spending. Follow 3 accounts or join one community focused on wealth building. Find one person who's where you want to be financially and ask them how they got there. Environment beats willpower. Change the environment and the behavior follows automatically. Number 7, They study money like it's part of their job because it is. Most people spend 12 to 16 years in school learning subjects they'll never use, but spend 0 hours learning about the thing that will impact every single day of their adult lives: money. Poor Peter doesn't understand compound interest. He doesn't know the difference between good debt and bad debt. He's never heard of tax advantage accounts. He makes financial decisions based on feelings and guesses. Rich Richard treats financial education like a mandatory course. He spends 30 minutes a few times per week learning. He reads books about money. He watches videos about investing, taxes, real estate, side businesses. He learns slowly but consistently. And over years, that knowledge compounds into an edge most people never develop. The psychology, financial literacy directly correlates with financial outcomes. People who understand how money actually works make better decisions. Better decisions compound into better results. The consequence of ignoring this: you'll pay more in taxes than you need to. You'll fall for scams disguised as opportunities. You'll panic sell in downturns and buy at tops. You'll reach retirement and realize you could have retired 10 years earlier if you just understood the basics. The action: pick one financial topic you don't understand: compound interest, index funds, tax brackets. Spend 2 hours this week learning just that one topic. Then pick another topic next week. In 1 year, you'll have studied 52 financial topics. That knowledge will pay dividends literally for the rest of your life. Number 8, they start before they feel ready. Here's the pattern that keeps people poor forever: waiting. Waiting until they have more money to start investing. Waiting until they know more to start a side business. Waiting until conditions are perfect to make a move. Poor Peter has been thinking about starting something for 3 years. He's still researching. He's still waiting for the right moment. Rich Richard started before he felt ready. He opened an investment account with $100 even though he barely understood it. He started offering a service before he was an expert. He made mistakes, learned, adjusted, and kept moving. 3 years later, he's miles ahead while poor Peter is still preparing to start. The psychology: action creates clarity. You learn more in 1 month of doing than in 1 year of thinking about doing. Perfect is the enemy of progress. The consequence of ignoring this: you'll waste years in preparation mode while others lap you. You'll always feel behind because you are behind. You keep delaying the start date. The action: pick one small financial move you've been postponing. Open that investment account. List that item for sale. Apply for that side gig. Do it this week even if you don't feel ready. Imperfect action beats perfect planning every single time. Here's the truth: staying poor after learning this information would be a choice, and you're too smart to make that choice. These 8 daily behaviors aren't complicated. They're just consistently practiced by people who escape poverty and consistently ignored by people who stay stuck. Pick one behavior, start tomorrow. Do it every single day, because poverty isn't a permanent condition, it's a temporary situation for people who practice temporary behaviors. Wealth is a permanent outcome for people who practice permanent behaviors. The choice is yours. Make it count.